A scathing state audit claims to have found questionable and excessive spending at the Department of Criminal Justice Training. We take a closer look at the report.
A Lexington daycare employee cited by police after a state investigation made some troubling discoveries.
These kids are learning a lesson that they could never learn in a book.
A lesson in compassion for some Central Kentucky students as they help a teacher facing a difficult challenge.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. Tonight, a newly released state audit claims there were many problems with how the Kentucky Department of Criminal Justice Training spent money.
Now, the state auditor claims he found evidence of excessive spending, even on things like jewelry and catered food. And he claims there were improper contracts. WKYT's Victor Puente looks into the scathing audit. It's our top story at 6.
That audit covered the last 10 years of operations for the Department of Criminal Justice Training. The Secretary of the Kentucky Justice Cabinet said they requested it. The 5-month review found issues involving the Kentucky Law Enforcement Foundation Program Fund, which is meant to be used for police training.
More than $56 million has been swept from the CLEP fund to the general fund, which becomes virtually untraceable at that point. That is $56 million removed from protecting our families and keeping our Commonwealth prepared.
Auditor Mike Harmon said the money was used for items such as engraved julep cups, watches, and catering.
So we requested this audit, as you know, back in April because we had found too many signs that the previous administration had not lived up to those standards.
His office identified 10 major issues dealing with hiring and spending. He says any excess money from the CLEP fund should have gone to officers or led to reduced taxes. They also say the department used contracts with Eastern Kentucky University that allowed them to circumvent state employment laws, including hiring family members.
The former commissioner's cousin held the position of editor for the Kentucky Law Enforcement magazine published by DOCJT. The magazine editor was employed through the EKU contract and provided services exclusively to DOCJT.
EKU released a statement saying they would help the auditor's office in any way they could. While the Department of Criminal Justice Training is on their campus, it's a separate state-operated organization. In Richmond, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The state auditor says this report will be referred to the Executive Branch Ethics Commission for their determination as to whether there needs to be more investigation.
A former Kentucky Personnel Cabinet Secretary who admitted to his role in a public corruption case learned his sentence today. A federal judge gave Tim Longmire nearly 6 years in prison. Investigators say he used his influence to steer work for a Louisville company in exchange for cash payments and money for candidates he supported. Longmire apologized for his actions.
People of the Commonwealth and the folks of state government, and particularly to my community and family.
Be that Mr. Longmire occupied not only a position of trust, but a very senior position in state government.
Longmire was personnel secretary under former Governor Steve Beshear. He must report to the U.S. Bureau of Prisons by December 7th. He also must pay $200,000 in restitution.
Tonight, we've learned a Lexington daycare is now being monitored by the state after an investigation. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services claims it found multiple violations at New Creation Child Care on Industry Road. As WKYT's Caitlin Sentner tells us, police also cited one of the daycare employees.
A man has been cited for second-degree assault after what's been referred to as a game. That game is apparently called Smack for a Snack. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services investigated the claims, and here's what they found. They say 2 men would play the Smack for a Snack game with school-aged children at New Creation Child Care, and they say that means the only way kids could get a yogurt was if the kids let them in, hit them with a stick. One child told the state the teacher said, "If you want a yogurt, you have to stand up to get hit on the hand or the leg." Everyone lined up to get hit. Some kids were crying about it. Another said, "I didn't even want a snack, but he hit me anyway." The report goes on to say the director at the daycare was told about the alleged incident by a parent who had pictures of bruising. 32-year-old Jamar Hall was cited by the Lexington Police Department for second-degree assault, and he's lost his job with the daycare. While the state was investigating new creation childcare, they had a few more findings. They say there were too many kids in the school-aged children classroom. In fact, they say there were 27 kids and just one staff member. They say there was no sign-in and sign-out for students, and that the daycare storefront window was shattered. They were told that happened because one child knocked another into a window. Now, we asked for comment from the daycare, but we were told there isn't management here right now to give comment. In Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Ann Hall is expected in court for a preliminary hearing October 12th.
He says he's been camping out for Big Blue Madness tickets for years, but a UK fan says this year he had a bad experience as fans rushed to grab their spots in line. He claims someone assaulted him. Monique Blair joins us now live with more. Monique?
Hi, Amber. It is day number 2 out here at Tent City. Campers out here are very excited. The rain has held off, but I can tell you there is one man who is not here, a man who has been coming out here every year for the past 17 years straight. Dallas Hoskins is known by many around the Big Blue Madness campout. He's been coming for almost 2 decades, but more specifically, for the past 5 years, he has been #1 in line to get the much coveted tickets to the team's first practice.
Well, when you become a fan, it becomes a part of your life. When you're researching recruitment and players, things like that, you become a part of it. You feel like you're just part of everything.
But Wednesday morning, Hoskins says when the crowd of people began the annual run across the Avenue of Champions to claim their camping spot, Hoskins says he was kicked multiple times by someone else in line.
He started after I got kicked in the back of the head. That's when I got dizzy and I didn't really start thinking what was going on.
At that point, Hoskins says he was so upset he left the event.
Actually, I didn't feel like I was a part of it anymore. I felt like I just had my whole world pulled out from under me.
Now, Hoskins tells us he did suffer some minor injuries, and also he tells us he did file a police report. UK police tell us that report is still under investigation. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. UK police say there are more officers patrolling around Memorial Coliseum this year compared to previous years, and they say they believe things have been smoother this year.
It's been a cloudy and cooler day across the Bluegrass, and we're tracking a few showers as well tonight. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at the forecast. Those folks in the tents, I don't know how much rain they really want over there at Memorial Coliseum, Jim.
They don't want a whole lot at all, unless they have one of those heavy-duty, nice waterproof tents, because we are certainly dealing with more chances of rain here in the coming days, because that's number one of our headlines here. The showers just keep coming. Now, at times they have been heavy, not as much here in central Kentucky today. Below average temperatures will continue, so as they're out there at night, they're going to need to bundle up. It'll certainly be chilly, dreary into the weekend. And right now, with our temperatures, we're on the cooler side as well. 63 in Lexington. That's actually up by about 2 degrees compared to where we've been most of the day. We're actually getting a little sunshine in parts of Fayette County now. More 50s steady across eastern Kentucky out there right now. You see the low that's been causing all the problems, that circulation going counterclockwise. That is the low that is keeping clouds and rain around the area. And if you look at our high resolution hour by hour, it keeps it here through the evening, and watch that. Overnight gets a good little shot, especially in northern and eastern portions of Kentucky, as the low starts flipping around there. That high-resolution model updates every hour and only goes out 12 hours, and you can see that it keeps the rain around the area tonight and into the day tomorrow as well. Guys, I'll break it all down a little more in detail coming up in just a few minutes.
When the school year starts, there is a lot to learn, and sometimes lessons are not always taught from a book. Teachers have the task of making sometimes tough material be more understandable. But what happens when the teacher is given an assignment not even she understands? Tonight, a lesson on love and compassion one Clark County teacher won't soon forget.
What's an adjective? Who can tell me? Raise your hand.
Today's lesson, descriptive words. If the assignment here was to describe 6th grade teacher Christy Blackwell, the answer would be easy.
She's one of my favorite teachers. She can make any activity fun for us.
From students to staff at Baker Intermediate, it seems Mrs. Blackwell easily makes an impression on everyone she meets.
She is just so easy to talk to. She makes you feel like when you're talking to her that you're the only one in the world. She just makes you feel very special.
It was that very reason why this school year, those who know and love Mrs. Blackwell are working on an assignment that reaches far beyond the classroom.
We're making cards.
Returning from summer break has been one of determination for Blackwell. Life changed for this 34-year-old wife and mother of twin boys while on vacation in June.
I started stuttering and I started having a seizure. And my husband called 911 and I was sent to the hospital. I don't remember anything. And I had 6 seizures that night.
Blackwell had a brain tumor and needed immediate surgery. Doctors diagnosed her with brain cancer and started her on radiation. But despite the battle ahead, nothing was going to stop her from getting back to her students when school started, even if it was for just a month.
This summer has been a whirlwind, and it was a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, and I needed normalcy. I needed something to come back to and something to hope for.
And that's when the subject for these teachers turned to how do we help. They started a GoFundMe page, sold these Be Well Mrs. Blackwell bracelets, and they've seen their students take up the cause as well.
And we're going to make her a quilt, so like to have it on her lap, because my uncle, he had cancer and he said the chemo room was really cold, so we were making her a lap blanket.
That blanket was finished just in time for Mrs. Blackwell before she had to leave her beloved students to start chemo.
These kids are learning a lesson that they could never learn in a book. And they're learning something, they're learning an amazing life lesson. They're learning to think of someone else other than themselves.
Compassion, empathy, and love. None of it in Mrs. Blackwell's original lesson plan this year, but it seems she is teaching a valuable lesson to her students in the way she's handling her own tough assignments.
I mean, I hope that they can see that no matter what struggles you go through, you can be determined and get through them with the help and love. And I mean, I've been shown so much support.
And I have my own bracelet, Be Well, Mrs. Blackwell. Christy Blackwell says she is ready to fight. She will undergo extensive rounds of chemo over the next several months. Last week, her students and fellow staff showered her with love before leaving for all that treatment. For more on how you can help in that GoFundMe page, just go to our website, WKYT.com.
The results are in. How did Fayette County schools rank in scores from the state? That's next on WKYT News here at 6.
And then how some Lexington businesses are helping Rupp Arena celebrate a major milestone next month. The Kentucky Department of Education has released its annual district and state scores, and the results rank Fayette County schools as needing improvement.
The district's overall score dropped nearly 2 points compared to last year. School Superintendent Manny Kalk would not talk to us today on camera, but in a statement he said the scores show the district's previous plan for accelerating achievement did not work. He says new strategies were put into place a few months ago, and he's confident schools will see improvement. The United Way says it's also been sending volunteers to schools to help the students.
Our experience has been that when you have a one-to-one relationship with a volunteer and a student, in 75% of the cases, the student has improved academic performance. So it really does help.
You can find scores for each Fayette County school and schools across the state on our website, WKYT.com.
Rupp Arena is celebrating a milestone next month, and some Lexington businesses are joining the party. The arena opened in 1976, and October 17th will mark the 40th anniversary of the first concert held in Rupp Arena. On that day, 6 Lexington businesses will be selling special Rupp Arena-inspired items, and some of the proceeds from those sales will go to the United Way of the Bluegrass. For a list of the participating businesses, you can go to WKYT.com.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Dreary, gloomy. That is what it has been for us past a couple of days here, and today, of course, being one of those. A little bit of sunshine trying to filter in for a few of us. Problem is, it's showing up too late in the day to really matter a whole lot. Right now in Lexington, we're up to 63 degrees because we did get a little peek in that sunshine, so it allowed the temperature to go right back up a little bit, by 2 degrees compared to where we have been most of the afternoon into the evening now. 59 degrees down the road into Somerset, and more 50s in eastern Kentucky. And this batch of rain and rounds of showers and storms we've been watching out there will ease more toward the west here soon as that energy continues to spin. Let's look outside here in Lexington. I said sunshine. There you see it. The skies are showing blue out in front of the station. We're looking out toward Hamburg, but I'm locked in on the sky because we are seeing the sun. Now, if we could see the sun and keep the 60s, in my opinion, we'd be doing very well. And that's what we're doing, at least for the moment. But the sun's on its way down, 63 degrees. Humidity up there today, of course, with all the shower activity that we've been picking up. Winds out of the north around 6 miles per hour, and the spin keeps on spinning out there, that low. There you see the showers out to our west, and you'll see some of those kind of turn the corner and move into southern parts of Kentucky. The same thing going on in eastern Kentucky as well, but again, it's more of a westerly jog with the overall low, which will start pulling some of that moisture along. There's a low we've been talking about and watching since early on this week. It had a front attached to it on Monday, and when it blasted through, that's when we got to this new air mass, and then that low started dropping in on us from the north. Tuesday was fantastic, but Wednesday and today have been kind of raw out there, with heavier rain, of course, showing up yesterday. With that low kind of running the show for the next few days here, we'll keep the chilly, cool, wet conditions right in place. It's a damp mess, and it stays right here. Dreary and wet, chilly temperatures all the way through your Sunday. Now, Sunday actually gets a little bit of a surge. We could see the highs get into the upper 60s and low 70s, which is actually warmer than we certainly have been here. Hour-by-hour run shows you the showers trying to thicken up a little bit later on tonight around that low, so they're working a little more toward the west, as well as the center of circulation with that system as well. Tomorrow morning, upper 40s, low 50s. Let's creep into the afternoon hours and into the evening, and you'll see we're stuck in the 60s again. Should be around 74, 75 for highs, with the chilly showers continuing into your Saturday and a few even into Sunday. Now, I have jumped the temperature up to around 69 on Sunday with a small chance of a rogue shower or two. But once we get past the weekend, we get to enjoy what fall is supposed to be like, or at least this part of fall. We should be in the mid-70s right now, and we're going to get there after a chilly mess.
Okay. I hope we stay here for a while in terms of the fall weather.
We'd like to see it stick around. We got another front, though, maybe late next week that does the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jim.
UK women's team with a high preseason ranking.
How about that? The Sporting News coming out with its women's rankings and preseason All-Americans. A couple of cats honored, and Mark Stoops talking about the Bama game for the last time before heading to Tuscaloosa. Sports is up next on WKYT. The Cats finishing up practice about a half hour ago, and Mark Stoops telling the media his team must continue to run the football against Alabama. And Stoops said the Cats must handle adversity.
And we have to learn, from previous mistakes. And the last time we went into a tough environment, we didn't respond very well. So hopefully we'll handle that better. If there is adversity, which I'm sure it'll come, in every game there's some form of adversity. And we have to be able to handle it better, and hopefully we learn from that Florida game and we'll respond better. I'm excited about the opportunity, and I'm worried about us in competing at a high level and getting better. And that's what we've been stressing all week, is having that great attention to detail, fundamentally playing better. Our communication needs to be better, so we're anxious to get out there and have another great opportunity.
Kentucky has 4 players on the roster from the state of Alabama, so it's sort of a homecoming for them this weekend. Included in the group, offensive guard Logan Stenberg. He's number 71. He's a redshirt freshman, Madison, Alabama. He is seeing playing time, and of course, Stenberg is excited about the trip.
It's going to be great. I'm excited to go down there. I have a couple friends on the team. Just an opportunity to strap it up and go down there and see what we can do. A lot more family would be there. It'd be kind of like a little homecoming for me too, just to see them. So I'm really excited about it. I grew up an Alabama fan until 8 or 9 years old, and then started just kind of going straight into college football. I just love the sport.
Number 1 Alabama down in Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday night. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. The game is on ESPN. Alabama linebacker Tim Williams has been charged with carrying a pistol without a permit. Campus police arrested him on the misdemeanor charge early this morning. Williams, number 56 here, is starting. He is projected as a first-round draft pick. He emerged last season as a star pass rusher, recording 10.5 sacks. Nick Saban saying after practice today that the conduct of Williams will not be tolerated. Former Boyle County Mr. Football and Southern Cal linebacker Lamar Dawson suing the NCAA and the Pac-12. Dawson, who played for the Trojans from 2011 to 2015, believes he should have been paid mandatory minimum wage with overtime while a collegiate athlete. The Ryder Cup match is getting underway tomorrow at Hazeltine up in Minnesota. Former Wildcat J.B. Holmes will be playing there for the Americans. This is the second Ryder Cup for J.B., the Campbellsville native. He helped the Americans to their last win back in 2008 at Valhalla.
I'm just ecstatic to be here. It was, it was the best experience in golf I've ever had. It was just unbelievable. So, it's great to be here again with the team, and it's just an unbelievable feeling, and it's nothing like getting to play for your country. So, just so excited to be here.
And Michaela Epps and Evelyn Akator of UK are both Sporting News preseason All-Americans, and the Cats are ranked number 10 in the country in the Sporting News preseason poll. Epps was named to the first team. She was named a second-team All-American by Athlons earlier this month. Akator is named to the Sporting News third team. She transferred in and was a key addition last season, averaging more than 11 points and 9 rebounds per game. That's sports. We'll wrap it up right after the break.
We've sort of been searching for that sunshine all day, and it waits until about 6:30 to show up.
But it started showing up on our sky cam.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not going to warm you up a whole lot. And we're starting to see it, of course, drop in the sky. And you won't see much of it tomorrow either, as the rain will be right back in town, and it continues into the weekend. Very damp and chilly, guys.
My friend, if you pitched a tent at Memorial Coliseum, you'd want to know what the weather is. Yeah. Live report from Dave Buzz Baker coming up from Memorial Coliseum next on the CW Lexington.